One of the most magnificent structures of the Delhi Sultanate period is the Qutub Minar. So one of the best example of the uh, monument, or you can say a different style of architecture during the Delhi period, was the Qutub Minar. The use of red and white sandstone, Islamic calligraphy, the skillful projection of balconies and their linkage to the main tower, and the use of marble in the panels and at the top stages are some of the unique features of the tapering tower, which originally stood 71.4-meter tall. So this is the features of the Qutub Minar. So as you can see in this picture, this is a picture of Qutub Minar. Okay, and here what is said that it is made up of red and white sandstone. So the whole Qutub Minar is made up of red and white sandstone. Okay, and in the walls different types of Islamic calligraphy, that means different types of hymns and verses of Quran, the holy Quran is uh, crafted in the walls. Okay, and the skillful projection of balconies, as you can see there are different types of balconies over here. These are the balconies where people go and stand and look throughout the area. Okay, and the use of marble in the panels. So in some of the panels marbles are used, okay, in order to decorate the Qutub Minar. And at the top stages are some of the unique features of the tempering tower. So as you can see here, the tempering tower, and the length of the Qutub Minar is 71.4-meter tall. The construction and completion of the palace fortress complex of Tughlaqabad was attributed to Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and Muhammad bin Tughlaq. So the complex of Tughlaqabad was made by the Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq and the Muhammad bin Tughlaq. A striking features of the Tughlaq architecture was batter or sloping walls, which gave strength and solidity to a monument. So in the Tughlaq dynasty, the monuments were quite different from the Delhi Sultanate. That means uh, the Tughlaq architecture is basically on the sloping walls. That means the walls are totally different from the other monuments which were made during the Delhi Sultanate. Okay, and why these sloping walls was there? So that it can give the strength to the monument. The bin and lintel were other unique features of Tughlaq architecture. So the other features of the Tughlaq architecture was the bin and the lintel. The structures of the Lodi dynasty also displayed extensive use of the lintel, bin, kiosk and balconies borrowed from the Rajasthan and Gujarat. So every period, especially in the different Mughal period or in the different dynasty, their architecture was quite different from each other. So just like in the Lodi dynasty, they also use the lintel, bin, kiosks and balconies in their monument, which they have taken from the Rajasthan and Gujarat palaces and fort. Their tombs were with placed on a high platform in gardens such as the Lodi garden at Delhi. So during the Lodi dynasty, they used to make the tomb or the monuments in a high platform, especially in the gardens, just like the Lodi garden at Delhi. Next is mosque. The mosque of this period display a fusion of indigenous and newly introduced architectural style. So the mosque was also quite different from each other during the different dynasty, and in the mosque the different types of architectural style was introduced by different dynasty, just like the Turkish, Afghan and Mughals. Major characteristics of design used in the mosques are lofty gate, that means a huge gate, and the monuments was or you can say the mosque was quite tall, slender minarets and domes. So the minarets were used in the mosque. Okay, minarets means the pillars, and the dome, that is the dome like structure. This symbolizes, or you can say this was the feature of the mosque during the uh, Mughal, Turkish and Afghan period in India. Next, the tombs. Now we will discuss what were actually the tombs. The large number of tombs were built during the medieval period. So a huge amount of tombs were made during the medieval period. The general pattern of the tomb comprises a dome chamber known as hujra and a canoptrap in its center with a with a mehrab where the real grave was located in an underground chamber. So why this tomb was used during those period? In some monuments, okay, in some monuments the dome chamber, they were known as hujra. That means the dome chamber, where the dome is present, under that there is a hujra, okay, and a canatop in its center was a mirhab. So this is the tomb, okay, so this is known as hujra, and at the center there is a you can say a pillar like structure. At the center is known as mehrab, okay, and where the tomb was made in some monuments, there grave was there, that means the grave of the different types of rulers or emperors were done in the underground. So why this tomb was important? So that they can bury the dead body of the famous emperor in the monuments as a symbol that this monument was made by that particular emperor. The introduction of garden around the tomb was new feature of tomb architecture. So generally during the medieval period, if there is if any ruler who had made the tomb, they used to make around the garden. So this was the unique feature of the tomb architecture by the or you can say during the medieval period. Humayun's tomb in Delhi is one of the finest example of tomb architecture in which the use of double tomb was seen for the first time. So the Humayun's tomb, which is present in Delhi, it is one of the finest example of tomb architecture in India. And in these tomb, that is in the Humayun tomb, not only a single tomb but a double tomb was introduced for the first time in India. A double tomb comprises an inner and outer layer. So a double tomb comprises of both inner and outer layers. The ceiling is placed lower in such a way that the proportion of the exterior is not disturbed. So the laborers who had made the Humayun's tomb, just like this is the Humayun's tomb, like they have made a tomb, but it was both from inside and outside, okay, and they have made the ceiling in such a manner that both the tombs are not at all disturbed, or both the tombs does not you can say uh, face the problem while constructing the Humayun's tomb. The tomb is octagonal in shape and rises into two stories. So the you can see the tomb, that means this is a Humayun's tomb, they are in the two story, that is this is one story monument and this is another story monument, and these are in the octagonal in shape. The Mughals are credited with having introduced the double tomb in architecture and the pyramidal style of inlay decoration in India, that is using floral design made of semi precious stone to decorate the wall. So it was the Mughal who had used or introduced the double dome architecture in India, and the use of Paitra Dura style, that is using the floral design. That means they used to design the walls with the help of, or you can say made up of semi precious stone in the wall in order to decorate the walls. They also began the practice of putting up buildings entirely of marble. The Taj Mahal is the finest example of this. So even during the Mughal periods, they have made a buildings where they only use only the marble in order to make the whole monument. So at present the famous example is the Taj Mahal, which is present at Agra. As you can see in this picture, Akbar's tomb at Sikandra Nagar, Agra. So this is a Akbar's tomb made by Akbar. The outer part of Akbar's tomb at Sikandra near Agra is a rectangular structure with octagonal towers at each corner. So this is in a rectangular structure and octagonal towers at each corner. The tomb has no central dome, which makes it different from other tombs. So just like the other tombs made during the Mughal period, they have a dome like structure, but in the Akbar's tomb, Akbar have used a different style of architecture, and in the Akbar's tomb there is no tomb structure like is made. It consists of 5-story pavilion with an open rectangular courtyard at the top containing a tomb like canatop. So it consists of 5-story, that means this whole is consisting in a 5-story, okay, 1 2 3 4 and 5 story, okay, and it opens in a rectangular shape. Okay, and at the each there is a tomb like canopy, that means like a balconies are made where from where the rulers can see the outer area in a better way. The practice of placing Mughal tomb in the middle of huge formal garden and building them as a central hall surrounded by 8 rooms is known as Hast Bihist. So what does the term Hast Bihist means? The practice of making Mughal tomb. That means the tombs which were made during the Mughal period, they used to make the Mughal tomb in the middle of a huge garden. Okay, and the building then at the central hall surrounded by 8 rooms. So first of all they will make a Mughal tomb especially in the garden, and if the building is surrounded by 8 rooms, that particular monument is known as Hast Bihist.